Okay, now we discuss about the economic importances of arthropoda. In that, basically we are previous few slides we discuss about the beneficial arthropodal animal. Now we go to the harmful arthropodal animal like harmful insect. In that, we are specifically discuss about the female Anopheles mosquito, then red cotton bugs, rice beetles. These three organisms we discuss in this part as a harmful arthropodal animal. Now, the first one, the female Anopheles mosquito, we can specifically go through the systematic position or the classification of the female Anopheles mosquito. This female Anopheles mosquito is belong to the kingdom Animalia, then subkingdom Metazoa. Then it also belong to the phylum Arthropoda because they have the jointed appendages. Then it class belong to Insecta because they have the 3 pairs of legs. Then it belong to the order Diptera because there is 2 pair of wings and 1 pair is modified as a halter. Then it belong to the family Culicidae and the genus Anopheles. This is the systematic classification of female Anopheles mosquito, and the species is a Calcipes. This is the character features of the systematic position of phylum Arthropoda. You know that just this is the pictures. We can look at the pictures. Is a Anopheles mosquito is biting to the human or organisms. Then you know that in a world or till today there is reported about 2,700 species of mosquitoes reported, and these all 2,700 species belong to 30 genera, and in this genera they mostly are Anopheles, then Culex, then Aedes, then Mansonia. These are the different genus is reported on India. Basically, this organism that act as a vector. Why vector? Because this vector organism they transmit the different parasite to the human body, and therefore, and this distribution, these animals are distributed in all over the world, and about this organism is basically is transmitted by the one of the major parasite. This is known as a Plasmodium, and this Plasmodium, the Anopheles, only the female Anopheles mosquito have the transmit the Plasmodium parasite to human being, and they cause the malaria. The malaria, they have the 14-day symptomatic condition. How that symptomatic condition is going on. We know that there is 14 days is a incubation period of malaria, and this 14 days period they have some stages of the malaria we can come across in the human body, and you can look at the picture. There is very specifically how their transmission at the time of how the malaria is caused in the human being. The infected Anopheles mosquito is at the biting time they secrete the saliva, and through the biting mechanism saliva is injected to our body. Through the saliva this Plasmodium parasite is infected to the Plasmodium is entry to the human body, and these entries happen, they directly go through the liver and starting the infection to the liver. In the liver they enter to the liver, and this liver cell they are starting the signet stage. Then signet there is multiple division is take place, development is carried by favorable mechanism, and they are starting the merozoite. They develop the merozoite, and at the last stage of merozoite it just burst out and then release the number of again Plasmodium into the body. Some are in that some are infect to the again liver cell and some are enter to the RBCs, and continually the infection is occur, and the same way the infection is signating stage develop, then the sporozoite and then merozoite stage is developed. Again merozoite, the bursting is happen at the time of infection every 24 hour or every 48 hour or every 72 hours. There is symptomatic malaria, symptoms of malaria is repeated in every 3 days, 1 day or 2 days. And these malaria stages, they basically, these are the infectious stages. This is the infective stage in human being. Afterwards, they are also waiting for the some sporozoite or plasmodium signa stage. They are waiting for the entry to the mosquito body. Again they enter to the mosquito body, the sexual life cycle is completed, and again they are ready for the to develop the or infect to the new host or new human being. And that means in that malaria stage there consists of the some stages. The very first, there is a cold stage. The sudden the fever is come and the body is cooled down, shivering is come across, and this is the stage occur in the malaria patient. Then hot stage, the patient feel to the hot burning, cast and the clothing, their intense headache is happen in that mechanism. And the third stage, this is the sweating stage. In the sweating stage, there is the fever is comes and there is the starting the sweating, there is the sweating and the secondary anemia, they relapsing, there is secondary anemia is develop and tendency to relapse. That most of the things is happen in the infection of the malaria, and these are the 3 stages observed in the malaria. Basically, malaria is distributed in all over the world in tropical and subtropical region, and basically we can think that the WHO reported that about 198 million malaria patient is found in the world. This report given by 2013. That means this is a very dangerous situation. The malaria is caused to the there is malaria is threatened disease to the all over the world. Then next, the second type of the harmful insect, this is the red cotton bugs. We can again go through the detail about the classification of the red cotton bugs. The systematic position of red cotton bug, this belongs to the kingdom Animalia. Then it belongs to the phylum Orthopoda because they are jointed appendages is there. Then it belongs to the Insecta, that means body is divided into 3 regions and the 3 pair of legs. Then order Hemiptera, that means the wing is halfly developed or they are not covered the whole abdomen. This is belong to the order Hemiptera. Then the family Pyrocoridae, genus Dictyrus, and the species Singularis. This is the just systematic position of the red cotton bug, and these red cotton bugs is widely distributed in our environment, as well as they are major pest for the cotton. And this specifically, this organism, they have the host plant is a cotton, and some other, there is a okra or bhendi, then ambadi, then hollyhock, then some other malvaceae plant. These are the few plants is belong to the order Malvaceae, and these are the host plant is there. On the host plant, the red cotton bugs infected. Then the next character feature, that is identification mark. How they are identified? The red cotton bugs is specifically the size of this red cotton bug is 12 to 15 mm in length. Then male has longer than female. Male has shorter than female. It shows the red brown in color on the scutellum, as well as on the abdomen. They found the black spot observed, and the at the tailson or the posterior part of the abdomen, they have the blackish spot we can observe in the body. Similarly, they also consist of the piercing and sucking type of mouthparts, and this piercing or sucking of mouthpart, there is rostrum is straight and well developed. Similarly, there is same identification mark, only the wingless body. These are the early stage of the red cotton bugs, or this is the nymphal stage of the red cotton bugs. Then the nature of damage, how they are in nature of damage. Before this nature of damage, we can just go through the life cycle of these red cotton bugs. These red cotton bugs are about the after mature females. They after fertilization, they lay about 7 to 8 eggs in the soil or cervix or any carcass region. They lay the eggs, and these eggs, after 7 days of incubation of the eggs, they hatch out and they complete the 5 molt in the 49 to 89 days, and they again mature in the summer season or sometime the August and November. And they also take the shelter to the dry crops stick, like the cotton stick or any other there is the stick material. They are also take the protection. They enter to there, and the life cycle is continually going on, and finally this red cotton bug is complete the whole life cycle in the 6 to 8 days. 6 to 8 weeks. Then nature of damage. How the nature of damage? There is firstly they suck the cells. For very simple thing, they are the nymphal stage as well as the adult stage. They suck the cell sap from the leaves, tender shoot, and there is vitality of plant decreases. Then this mechanism, they specifically they impair of the whole plant. The sucking is continuously going on. The plant is impaired. There is stunting the growth, and they feed on the seed also. The adult stage they feed on the seed. They also attack on the ball of the cotton. We can look at the picture. There is very first there is suck the plant saps or tender leaves or stems. Then they also attack or to the cotton ball, and they also feed on the seed, and these are the major infection stage. We can observe that how much the infection, and any stage they infect to the plant body or host plant, and therefore this is very very dangerous pest in the red cotton bugs or the Malvaceae family plants. Okay, these are the symptoms we can observe in the red cotton bugs. Then which are the control measures? How their control measure we can carry out? The firstly the very simple method where the control measure are mostly 3 types. There is biological control, then mechanical control, and the chemical control or fertilizer control. In mechanical control, we can just search the eggs, expose the eggs in the sunlight. They can damage it, and easy to control the red cotton bugs. Then we can also use another mechanical method. There is hand picking method. Then we also use the spraying of malathion. This is chemical method to spray the malathion on this early stage. Then also spraying the endosulfan 35%. These are the control measures we can easy to carry it, and just we can see that the infection stage, we can just take it all the stick or cervixes or the wastage material and burn it. This is one of the biological method. We can use it for the control of red cotton bugs. Then the next one, there is harmful insect as a rice weevil. It is again another rice weevil as one of the major pest, and this pest is act as a Storgen pest. Before we starting the Storgen pest information of rice weevil, we just go to the systematic position of rice weevil. It again belongs to the kingdom Animalia. Then it belongs to the phylum Arthropoda because jointed appendages is found in there. The class is Insecta because 3 pair of legs. Then the class order Coleoptera, that means there is the body is covered with the whole cover is sheathy wing is there. Family Curiculinodi and the genus Cystophilus. These are the basic systematic position or location of the rice weevil in the science, and their species is the orgy. We can look at the pictures how there is Sturgeon pest. The Sturgeon pest, we can look at the identification mark of the Sturgeon pest. This is a brownish body. The length of this body about 4 mm in growth. Sometimes there is brown in color, sometimes black in color, sometimes there is the brown and black mixture, and there is present of the very strong curved rostums. And this curved rostrum is helping for to the infect to the Sturgeon pest. There is boring to the Sturgeon pest. Very first, these character features. We can look at the picture very shiny and the brown in color. And this is the antenna. The club shaped antenna is found in the rice weevil. Then the thorax and abdomen is covered with a sheathy wing. The thick cuticles is there, and 3 pair of legs. And very prominent things, there is a curved rostrum and the small eyes in the lateral side. We can look at the picture, there is eyes is there. Okay. Then these red cotton bugs, specifically this is the act as a Sturgeon pest, and very first about how much there is loss is carried out. About in a world about 7 to 10% of the Sturgeon pest loss occur due to the infection of the rice weevil. We can look at the infection stage. What happened in that stage? Rice weevil, we can see the infection, how the infection is carried out. Very first, there is strong rostrum is there, and the strong rostrum there is bored to the Sturgeon pest and lay the eggs on that. After egg laying is completed, after incubation, the incubation is completed, they hatch the larva, and the larva we can starting the feeding in the inside the Sturgeon pest. Larva is grow and feed inside inside the Sturgeon pest. There is the endosperm is just feed it and grow inside the Sturgeon pest, and finally they reach to the pupa stage. Up to this stage, whole Sturgeon pest there is feed it all the endosperm part, and at the end that whole part the pupation is completed. The rice weevil is again emerge out, and they again ready for the next infection. The similar like the Cystophilus orgy, they infect to the rice, they infect to the Sturgeon baja, infect to the jawad, infect to the wheat. Every type of Sturgeon pest there is rice weevil that infects to it. Then the control measure, how they control measures, how there is very important to the control measures of this. Basically, these are the control measures are 2 types. One is the preventive methods and the other one is the curative method. The preventive methods, we can easily use it the preventive way. There is in the preventive methods we can use or we can apply the harvesting. After harvesting, these Sturgeon pests are easy to dry with the help of sunlight and remove the moisture condition. The moisture condition is as it remain in the less than 8% in the inside the grain cavity, and this percentage is reduced. The sun drying condition, there is the gunny bags, we can fill the whole sorghum paste and is it free from the infection of the rice wilt. Again, another we can use the neem oil or neem leaves. We can directly take the neem leaves, then mercury, then mix of the ash, then powder of sweet flax, rhizomes. They take it mixtures or they take it each. Some plant oil we can easy to use is these are all our indigenous practices we can use to control of the sorghum pest. Then sometime there is old bags, they should be treated with or fumigate with the ethylene dibromide, and this fumigation we can carry it out. It also one of the method can helpful for to control the sorghum pest. Again, we can apply the 5% of the BSC, 0.05% of pyrethrins. Then this pyrethrine or malathion we can easy to use. There is mixtures we can store, and this sorghum paste are always we can take the precaution as this whole area they are insect free, and this insect free or we can in that go down we can take the one of the major precaution is that in the go down they have some cracks or some breakage or anything is floor sealing area, we can just seal it very well. Otherwise this all area or this go down they are fumigate in the frequently with help of the ethylene dibromide, and or sometime we can also take a spray of insecticide as a pyrethrins, then malathion, BSC to avoid the chance of contamination of rice wilt. Then curative measures. In curative measures we can also we can take the precaution of we take the sieving and the cleaning is very all the stages of the infestation is cleaning and sieving is very important. Then after there is vanish the sorghum pest, you can suitable any type of the fumigant they use it, and they fumigate all the part of the sorghum storage of the sorghum, as well as if there is found the larvae or adult, they also kill by exposing the ethylene dichloride or carbon tetrachloride vapor. They easy to kill it with use of some chemicals, and these are very helpful to them. Okay, these are the information we can get it very well. Okay, these are control measures we can easily use to control of rice wilt. Okay, then we can just go through the whole lecture. There is the reflection point, how is the mode of life of rice wilt. We can go through the lecture, we get it detailed information of mode of infection of rice wilt. Then is it the pinworm is human parasite, we can go through that also. Then this is a point for this is a part for you as a small assignment for you. The first assignment, write a note on economic importance of the phylum Arthropoda, then and write a note on plant pest as well as the sorghum pest. These both questions you can write on your blank page, complete the assignment and upload on your Google Classroom, as well as you also submit on my email ID ramnathandade@kthmcollege.ec.in. Okay, then we take the quick review of today's session. We can go through the today's session. We discuss about the economic importance of the phylum Arthropoda. In that we can go through the useful arthropoda animal as a insect. In that we can discuss about there is a honeybee, then the lark insect and the silkworm. Similarly, we also discuss about the detailed information related to harmful insect or harmful arthropoda animal In that we specifically discuss about the Anopheles mosquito. This is the vector for the malaria. Then we also discuss about the rice weevil and the red cotton bugs. These are the plant and store grain pest is a very dangerous issue in the community. That part we discuss in the today's session. Then the next session we discuss about the introduction of phylum Mollusca and gender characters of Mollusca. Thank you. We can meet again next lecture.